Let's bring him out. You guys, a big round of applause for Bob Morley.
Hello, how are we? How's the day been? Good? Fabulous.
So, I mean, they are ready with their questions, so if you're ready, we can go ahead and...
I am.
All right. Hi.
Hi, Bob. This is a question on behalf of my friend Kristen, who couldn't be here today.
Okay.
Can you guys hear her?
No.
All right, let me see if I can... There's normally like a sound person in the room.
This is a question on behalf of her friend Kristen that's not here today.
First, can you say hi, Kristen?
Hi, Kristen.
She just wants to know what your favorite part about playing Bellamy is.
What is my favorite part about playing Bellamy? I mean, I really love the character. I mean, and he's really kind of, he lives in the grey area. He's like very loyal, he's very passionate, he can be very irrational. Yeah, that's the part of him that, like, the things that I love about him are the things that people probably hate and the things that everyone gets annoyed at. But it's his flaws and his faults that make him interesting for me. Even when he makes like terrible decisions, I have to somehow find the truth behind it. So that for me is a challenge as an actor, to get into his head and see it from his point of view. So that's probably my most favourite part about Bellamy, yeah, is his faults.
Thank you so much.
No worries, thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
Are you going to keep the beard for season 6? Are you going to keep the beard?
Am I going to keep the beard for season 6? I mean, I'm not keeping it for fun. Here it is.
This might be better for this.
Not only that it's on.
Ooh.
Try that.
All right.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello again. What the hell? Is that not working?
I don't think so.
Oh, no, I didn't hear it. You guys can hear that? Yeah.
So, as of 5'11", can you explain Bellamy's psychology or mindset toward Octavia and Clark, if you think like it's past the point of no return with Octavia, and if he understands why Clark is so upset?
I think he understands why Clark's upset. Obviously Bellamy isn't privy to what has happened in, like, Maddie, channeling the commanders and talking to Clark in the car or anything like that. He's not there, so he doesn't get to see that. I think that he thought that it was the right thing to do. I don't want to really spoil it for anyone that hasn't seen 5'11", but that's kind of the question it makes me, and it's out there, so you can see it if you want. But the decision to put the flame in Maddie wasn't Bellamy's alone. I mean, Gaia and Indra, it was actually Indra's idea, if you actually watched the episode. So I mean, he chose to take the leadership role of putting it in her head. And he's followed through with it. But I think he hopes that there was the right choice, and by having Maddie as commander, that everyone will follow her. And it's a gamble, and he hopes that Clark will understand. I mean, Maddie told him that she'd never forgive him. But yet he still chose to do it in order to stop the war. So, I guess what's that thing about the means justify the end, or the ends justify the means? That way? Yes, that thing. Now, in terms of his sister, Octavia, is it too far gone? So, yeah, I feel like there's a fair chance that it may be. I think that he thought by putting, giving her the algae, however you guys say it, that she would be knocked out for longer. He didn't actually anticipate that there was going to be Jackson there, putting her on dialysis, so she woke up way quicker than he thought that would happen. I think he thought he had more time up his sleeve before his sister would actually wake up, that she would actually wake up in the valley and everything would be okay. So, as it works out, the plans never really work out for anyone on the 100. So, in terms of, wow, someone's a robot. In terms of him being able to forgive Octavia or understand Octavia, I felt like he gave her like a fair chance. I think it took him long enough to actually decide to poison her when everyone else around him was saying, like Clark saying, kill her. and you know, get rid of your sister, and he just can't find it in him to do that. He gave, I think by that, in the scene, and I don't know whether it came across, but the scene where they're having the dinner, and he does that line, you know, like over the teeth, through the gums. He was hoping to see, like, you know, just this tiny little glimmer of his sister in there, and it's gone. And it's that point there where he goes, she's no longer my sister anymore. I have to take this, I have to, you know, deal with this in a drastic manner. So until he sees, like, Octavia again, I don't think he can really look past that. Yeah, but then again, I don't write the show, so I might forgive her, like, tomorrow. Yeah. And I'll just have to find the truth in that. But yeah. Good.
What happened to your knee?
Yeah, no, I injured it working out, actually. Yeah, it's a pretty boring story. I wish it was something awesome. Yeah. I was chasing a robber, and he jumped from one building to the next, and I followed him, but I didn't make it. Yeah, and only came away with, you know, a strained ACL. No, it's a pretty boring story. I'm sorry, man. It happens when you get old. You'll understand one day. Good day.
Hi. If you could cosplay as any character at a Comic-Con, which character would you cosplay as?
I've said, like, I would cosplay as Dr. Manhattan. Yeah. Because, you like that, don't you? You like that. I don't know if you guys know him, but he's just a very big blue man. Very big blue man. Yeah. I don't know, like, I tend to overheat really easily. Something, yeah, like something breezy, a skirt of some sort. Maybe William Wallace. Yeah, he's always kicking around in skirts.
Right.
Yeah.
You could do Sailor Moon, perhaps.
Yeah, but that's like skin tight kind of stuff. Yeah. I overheat.
Okay, Tarzan.
Oh, okay, yep.
Yes.
There's some Tarzan fans out there. Good.
So this kind of deals with behind the scenes kind of thing.
Sorry.
Would you?
I can't really hear that
You
well.
talk closer to me.
This kind of deals with behind the scenes kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
Who would you say takes the longest to get ready to film the 100? Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes perfect sense. Yeah. You know what? It's probably Marie. She's got a lot of clothes and stuff. Like, you know, and if she needs to go to the bathroom, it's like, got to take off 13 items of clothing if she's dressed up as a red queen, and then, you know. So, yeah, there's probably that. Or any of the grounders, basically, you know. Or, like, any of us when you have to put on body tattoos, or they got to, like, cover up tattoos, that stuff takes ages. But, yeah, in terms of, like, actual time in the makeup chair, I'd probably say Marie's in there the longest, just because she has so many pieces of it, like a costume and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, yeah. Good.
Okay. If you were able to write the script for the finale of the 100, how would you end the 100?
It's probably why I don't write it. I think that the way that the season ends, this coming season 5, it seems like a really kind of a beautiful way to kind of finish up the show. In fact, I thought the show was done after we finished season 5. So yeah, it's just really, I mean, I'm really happy to have another season, but the way the season 5 ends, I think is really quite poignant. So yeah. I'm really excited for you guys to see it, actually. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi again.
Hello.
My question is not really related to the 100,
Okay.
but a lot of the people that we see on other shows, after they're done with their show, they usually get a lot into directing, like for other shows or maybe being movies. Is that something that you would see yourself doing?
Well, actually, I'll be directing an episode of The 100 this year. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been working on over this hiatus, is getting up my directing skills up, and so I can direct an episode this season. So
That's great.
yeah, it's something that I'm really passionate about. Actually, it's like it just opens the world up in terms of even storytelling within the 100. Yeah, I feel like the blinkers are off and I get to tell a story like on a larger scale. So I'm really excited about it, and you know, I could possibly see that being a career change for me if it goes well. So yeah.
And we are too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello again.
Okay, first of all, very excited about the directing. That's
Thank
a big
you.
deal.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
proud
it
of
is
you.
a big deal. I'm terrified.
You'll be great.
Thank you.
Okay, could you tell us who your favorite cast member is to work with, and if you have a good or funny story to share with us while working with them?
I mean, I really love working with Eliza and Richard, they're really close friends of mine. You know, Jared and Sachin are also very close,
Okay.
Tass. I mean, really lucky to have such an amazing cast, basically. I've worked on a lot of shows back in Australia, and I've never had a sense of community and family like I have on 100. In terms of funny stories, they're all kind of things that happen outside of work and not necessarily on set, and they're not really appropriate for
I get it.
But no, yeah, we have a great time, so yeah.
Cool. Thank
I'm
you.
very lucky, very, very lucky. Thank you. Hello.
So each season of The 100, Bellamy is basically a new character. He's so different every season. Which season would you say is your favorite Bellamy to play and your least favorite, and why?
I mean, I really love playing Bellamy season 1 because he was new to me, and you know, he was very aggressive, and you know, he was very like brazen and loud and doing speeches all the time. And I was also like 5 years younger. It was a great thing. I really liked him, but I mean, I actually also liked season 3. I mean, I know that not many, like it was kind of the season that he, you know, everyone kind of hated him, but I mean, that's one of the things that I love about him. So. Season 5 is probably the hardest one that I've had to go through, this most recent season, just because he changed so much. And I, you know, like I was saying at the beginning of the Q&A, is that it's those challenges that, you know, make the job interesting for me. But yeah, because he'd had 6 years of a time jump and I only had 6 months, it was kind of a bit of a hard reset to try and figure out. But I think as the season goes along, and you know, we've only got 2 more episodes to go, I hope that people can kind of start to understand where he's coming from.
We do.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited for what happens to him further down the track. But yeah, 5 was probably the trickiest for me because I thought I knew my character really quite well, and then having to justify other ways that he worked throughout the season was just a challenge, but it was a good challenge. Yeah.
You're doing amazing. So.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Hello.
Like behind the scenes, how long does it take for you and the rest of your cast to memorize the tree crew language?
Oh, right. I'm not too sure how the others do it. Yeah. For me, yeah, it's kind of like learning a song in a different language, basically. It's hard to like infuse it with feeling at times because you don't necessarily know what you're saying. But I was just happy that I got through my, like I don't know if we've all seen episode 11, 511, but yeah, Bellamy speaks Trig in it. And it's just, yeah, it's hard. Because usually lines I can learn very, very easily. But Trig, it's kind of tricky. I think it was harder for people in the beginning because I forget the man's name who writes the language, but everyone was very, they scrutinised the way that they did the accent and everything with the Trig stuff, and then as the years have gone on, it's become a lot more relaxed. So to do Trig, which some people will kind of make sound Rasta, but then for me, I was like, okay, I can try and do it in that accent, but then to do it in Bellamy's accent, and then try and sound Rasta as Bellamy, was kind of a little bit tricky. So yeah, it was more about finding the right voice for it than necessarily the language of it. Yeah. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Who do you think has had the best character development in the show, and what you think caused them to the role?
The best character development. I really like Bellamy's, and I just think that they've really given him a wide variety of things to go through. But for me personally, I really actually there's a couple that spring to mind. I think Octavius is really amazing. But I also think Jaha's is, and I know he's not like the biggest fan favorite, but Jaha's like, you know, he kind of gets redeemed in season 5 a little bit, and you can see why he was such a strong leader and why people elected him. But he's where he just kind of drifted into madness and like brought back Ellie in a warhead, and you know, like after he lost his son, he went on this crazy journey where he kind of became a, you know, had this God complex where he wanted to try and save everyone, and then he returned and with Murphy, and he threw that kid into the water. And yeah, I think what Isaiah managed to do with the character was really amazing. And yeah, Jaha's story is one that I feel like gets overlooked a little bit, and I find his character absolutely intriguing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good day, mate.
So, in the 100, there's lots of running around and fighting. So, across all the seasons, what was the most physically challenging scene for you to film?
Whatever I'd have to do now with this sore ACL. The most challenging was probably, I mean, season 2. The most scary stunt that I had to do was in season 2, Mount Weather stuff, where I had to, that was funny, like, because I had a whole day where I was like sprinting around. There was an old paper mill that they didn't use, and I think it's maybe episode 9 or something, season 2, and it's a lot of Bellamy running away from guards and all that kind of stuff, and up and down the stairs. And we ended up shooting like, I don't know, well, it's the most shots we'd have ever shot in this show, like 99 setups, where it was me sprinting. So I ended up sprinting about 10 miles that day. And then the next day, then at the end of it, I had to do a fight sequence. And that was all fine. That stuff was all fine. But the following day, they had me jumping over like a couple of objects and then diving headfirst into a vent. And the vent was actually like cut, like jagged, because Bellamy had done it. And it was quite small, like, so I had to like dive in and then brace myself in, because it was like a right angle turn. So I had to dive in and brace myself because I'd hit the wall. And I didn't have my stunt man there that day. So that was the most scary stunt that I'd done. And it doesn't sound like it's huge or big or explosions, but it was like just, it's those small ones where you get really hurt. Like Marie had one where she almost lost her eye, and she had to sit out for like a week or two. Well, hello. Had to sit out for like a week or two because basically all she had to do was sit up and someone had to put a spear in her face. And that person overextended the spear and she sat up too quickly and went into her eye. So it's the small, it's like the small ones where you're like, oh, it'll be fine. They're the ones where you get really hurt. Yeah, I did. I ended up breaking my hand in one scene where I was supposed to be punching. It was written that I was supposed to punch a tree, and then the cameraman was like, well, the tree's too far away for us to get in shot, so how about you just punch this metal crate? I was like, okay. And so I got a piece of foam, and they just sprayed the piece of foam like it was metal, but the foam was about this thick, and I punched it. The second time I punched it, I knew I'd broken my hand. It was like my close-up, and Marie comes in, and we're supposed to be saying these lines, and she overshoots her mark. I'm like, get back on your mark, because I'm about to pass out. I'm like, I just got to finish this scene, because like, my hand was swelling up, and it was snowing, and so I just kind of had to, between takes, just put my hand in the snow, and yeah. But it's the little things that end up like hurting the most, because you're not taking as much precaution when you're doing them, which is silly, but yes. The gentleman walked away. That's a boring story. Hello.
I was wondering, now I don't know if the ARC had access to comic books, but which superhero do you think that Bellamy would most resonate with?
I mean, because it'd be easy for me to say, like, when I was younger, it was all about like Wolverine and Raphael and stuff like that. But I think Bellamy is a fundamentally different creature to me, and I feel like, I think that when he was younger, he saw himself as, like a good guy. We meet him when he's landed on the ground and he's already shot the Chancellor, so by the time we meet him, he's already kind of like a villain. But, like being the older brother and trying to get his sister to go to the dance and stuff like that, I feel like he would have seen himself more like a Spider-Man, Peter Parker type guy. I think that's the way he would have seen himself. But when we first meet him, he's like a villain. So I think there's a darkness to him as well. So I hate to sound cliche, but probably like a Batman type thing. Yeah. And he's got that ridiculous deep voice. Yeah. But yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If
back and why?
I get this question quite often, and I like to say Wells, just because of that. What I was saying about Jaha's story, I think his impact on the story with Jaha would have been really phenomenal. Because Jaha's a character that I like watching, and Isaiah is such a powerful performer that he's very captivating, and I would have loved to have seen him and Eli have scenes together, more scenes together. That's one that would have changed a lot, you know. And also because it's so early in the show, like, to think that would never have happened and Charlotte would never have jumped off a cliff, R.I.P., then we could, things might have been different. But then, the show wouldn't have been as dramatic as it is. But yeah, I would have liked to have seen how Wells would have panned out, and whether Bellamy and Wells actually go along. Yeah, what happened with Clark and Wells. Yeah, thank you.
On the show with this high turnover of body count, how much lead time do the actors get of knowing, okay, this is going to be your last episode?
I made a mistake once. And it was terrible. This is a great way to answer a question. I made a mistake of, reading the script. And I went up and I talked to Mike Beach, who played Pike, and we were shooting stuff, and I was like, oh man, I'm so bummed that, you're going, and he didn't even know yet. Because he was on set working, and the script had come out, and I read it before I got to work. So yeah, about that much warning. No, some of us get more than others, but it's funny, they try and, they'll keep script pages from us, because there was a period there where people were stealing scripts and then putting them out, online and that. So even now, they won't print certain pages with those kind of details in it. But, word travels fast amongst the crew, and you find out, yeah, you'd like to have, warning, but it doesn't necessarily always happen that way. So, yeah. Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
So, if you feel comfortable answering, I wanted to know what your biggest personal issue with acting in general and how you handle it.
Personal issue with acting. In what sense? Because the world of acting, the actual craft of acting to me, I absolutely love. It's other aspects of the job that come into it that I'm not necessarily comfortable with, like photo shoots and all that kind of jazz, and media stuff yeah.
For me, it would be self-criticism.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, look, I'm my biggest critic. Sometimes I find it very hard to watch my own stuff, but other times you get over that. I worked on a show in Australia called Home and Away, where I was on TV every night of the week. Hadn't had any other acting job before that, other than theatre. So it's kind of like a baptism by fire, and I was very lucky to have a show like that where I had so much airtime and I could sit there and analyse myself. But there is a point where you can sit there and analyse yourself and be critical of yourself and get down on yourself, but there has to be a point where it hits a saturation point. You go, you know what, this beating myself up isn't actually achieving anything. How do I make this a positive criticism, and how do I work on that? So I was very fortunate in that sense of being able to review it in that way. But I go home from days on set where I'm deeply upset because I didn't do the scene the way that I wanted to. In fact, I was driving to work last year, and I was thinking about a line that I had from a play that I did in 1997. And I finally figured out how to say the line, and I was like, oh, god damn it, that's what I should have done. And I was 13? Yeah, so 20 years later, I'm like, oh, right. That's how I was supposed to perform that line. So, yeah. Yeah, that can be perfect. Thank you very much. Good day.
Hey, speaking about the 100, do you, considering your character development and arc and all the decisions that you've made during that time, do you ever look at yourself as a fan of the show and think that some of those decisions aren't natural progressions, aren't things that you would do or that you don't necessarily agree with?
Well, this is the thing. It's kind of hard to be a fan of, like, watch it as a fan, but also be like an integral part of this show, because it's my job to make sure that those decisions that don't seem very in character, and unfortunately, you know, it seems like lately I haven't been pulling that off because everyone's saying my character's out of character. So, yeah, I mean, it's my job to try and make it work. Yeah, some decisions you make are harder than others to convince the audience by, or even myself. But yeah, it's my job to try and make it work, you know. And I'll voice my queries and you know, my questions to the writers, just in order to get like a more solid foundation as to how to play the scene. But yeah, look, I feel like I know what you're trying to say with the question, and I definitely, you know, yeah, there are times where I read the script and I get frustrated, but I have to get over my own judgments and start thinking in Bellamy's head. So that's where my own criticisms or thoughts on the character have to shift, and I have to put my head into work mode and try and make that work. So yeah, but I understand what you mean. Thank you. Good, hey?
Okay. Across all the seasons, if you could have changed one of Bellamy's decisions, regardless of the outcome, what would it have been?
I don't know, I was trying to think of something funny, but he's made a lot of bad decisions. So. Maybe not have slick back hair in the pilot. What decision? I don't know, like, because the really bad ones that he made are the ones that define him, and the ones that, like, I, you know, either get, like, you know, the most hate from or whatever it is, but at least it's eliciting emotion in people, and, you know, that's what I like, you know, that you want to be able to connect or, you know, evoke something out of the audience. Yeah, you know, it's probably the hair in the pilot. No, but also the other thing, just on like a superficial level, I really love that jacket that he had in season 3 and 4. And why the hell would he go to space without it and come back with some H&M type black jacket? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. No. Hello.
Hi. Okay, so they took some of my questions.
All
so
right.
my new question is, do you think we'll ever be exposed to what Bellamy's are, Octavia's fathers, who they are? And if that would that change the way Bellamy is and how Octavia is currently?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily a story point that they have to explore or what it is. And I mean, you know, for the longest time, and even like the last season with my hair and my facial hair, like I try to pretend like Kane is my dad. And in fact, I feel like Bellamy is turning into a bit of a Kane at points throughout season 5, you know, this father figure. And that being said, Kane is like the total betrayer this season. I'm so surprised. But I love Ian, that's probably why I'm trying to beat Ian. But yeah, Bellamy's mother, yeah, I don't know, that story is like quite a cloud, like a murky story, you know. Aurora did what she had to do in order to, you know, get her kids through. So it's never really explored, and you know, it's something that I have questioned. It's not something that I haven't had answered either. So maybe, possibly.
I think we should just decide it's Kane. And
Yeah, but then again, wasn't it Kane that floated my mother?
Well,
that's kind of messed up. Can we try that?
He had a wife in the pilot though, and she just.
Well, yeah, Kelly who?
Yeah.
Yeah. And wasn't his wife?
I don't think so.
I don't know if it was his wife.
I'm just saying.
He was evil, wasn't he? Yeah. He had quite a turnaround. Yeah, that would be really weird if he was my dad and he floated my mom. Daddy, why? It's been a long day, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi.
So,
should we put that one? Oh, there's it. Yeah. There you go.
I forgot I could do that.
Yeah.
So, does Bellamy think he's a good guy? And do you, as yourself, think Bellamy's a good guy? Like both as exploring his mindset and objectively, if that's possible?
Yeah, look, I think that he really tried his hardest to be a good guy. I think that seeing Octavia, what Octavia has become, has made him really question whether, he was ever really a good brother. I think it's like really hard for him to see his sister become that, and even the episode 5:10, I think, before he's going into is that 10? Yeah. Before he's going into the pits, and he tells her about these stories that I told you in childhood, and it's all just a joke. I think that there's part of him that feels bad about that. And he was a good guy. He was a good guy, I think, up until the point where he got his mother floated, and then he just started on this path, like shooting the Chancellor and then going down to the ground and throwing away the radio. I feel like this whole new Bellamy is someone who's trying to not necessarily redeem himself, but just never be forced to make those decisions again, or never make those decisions again willingly. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still kind of this new Bellamy, this new head and heart Bellamy, is something that I'm still exploring as well. Whether he thinks he's a good guy, I highly doubt that. I think he's going to try and be one. But even the decision with Maddie in season 5, with the flame is. Yeah, it's a terrible decision he has to make, but that's what the show is, Just put all these people into these terrible situations where they have to eat their brothers. Is anyone, you guys have seen 5:11, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I skipped through some of that stuff, because I read it, and then I saw it, and I was like, no, not okay. It's dinner time. Hello. Thank you.
So we actually just have time for one more.
Oh,
So
really?
we're going
I'm
to be
sorry.
our last question. But for everyone else online and for anyone else who wants to visit Bob, you're going to be at your booth today and possibly tomorrow. Yes.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm done for today, but tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So definitely visit Bob at his booth. And also, right before we take your question, is there anything else you would like to plug, or maybe tell everyone about your social media?
Is there?
I don't know.
I feel like you're trying to remind me of something that I forgot. No, I'm just really excited for you guys to see the finales. I don't think they're Tuesday at 8 o'clock. Yeah.
So, have the microphone. Last question.
Hello.
Hi. So first of all, I love the show. You guys are amazingly talented.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to ask you, is there any characteristics or traits that Bellamy doesn't have that you wish he did, and why?
Any characteristic traits? I kind of wish he was a little bit funnier, maybe happier. But the funny, with Bellamy, because he speaks in this register, it's a lot lower than the way that I would speak. It's very hard for me to punctuate comedy, because I can't talking that low. I run out of breath really quickly, so it's probably why he's not funny. Yeah, I would like for him to have a bit more of a sense of humor, and the sense of humor they do write for him is. Yeah, I can't execute it as Bellamy. He's very stoic, and it's a bit hard. I don't want to end on such a down note, but he's full of such regret and grief. Some days I'll go home and just be like, oh my God, my life is fabulous. It sucks. No, that's the one thing. The ability to be able to forgive himself and actually have a laugh, which is pretty rare for him, so that's something that would be nice. Yeah. Cool. Is that really time?
Yeah, it is. So guys, make sure that you visit Bob at his booth tomorrow, and thank you so much for coming out. How about one more time for
Guys,
Bob?
I appreciate it.